Welcome to ASP.NET Core MVC tutorial. In this series we are learning about tag helpers, and today in this video we will learn one of the most important tag helper, which is environment tag helper. So let's start. We are going to learn what is environment tag helper, what problem does environment tag helper resolve, and how can we use this environment tag helper. Several other things which are required to work with environment tag helper we will learn in this video. First of all, let's have a look on what is this environment tag helper. Environment tag helper is used to render some content based on the current environment. If you are working on an ASP.NET Core MVC application development, then there are several environments. For example, we have development, we have staging, production, or some other custom name that you have given to your environment. So you might have n number of environment, and since you have n number of environments, so there are some situations where you need to write some code specific to that particular environment. For example, if I am working on the development environment, then in that scenario I want my application to behave in such a way so that I can debug my application. But if my application is working into the production environment or staging environment, then in that environment I want my application to give the best performance, because at that time I do not want to debug my application. So there are several operations which are required to work specific to that particular environment. What problem does environment tag helper resolve? So let's focus on to the problem first. Here we are back to our bookstore application, and in this bookstore application, if I open the layout file, then at this place you can see that we are using this bootstrap CSS file, and this bootstrap CSS file is coming from, let's open the www root folder. Here we have one folder lib, then we have Twitter bootstrap, then go to the CSS, and here we have bootstrap.css. If I open this file, then you can see that this is not a minified file. What is the size of this file? Let's open this file into the file explorer. What is the size of this bootstrap file? The size is 193 KB. But we have one more file which is bootstrap.min.css file, and the size of this minified file is 156 KB. It means the minified version has some less size as compared to the original or the non-minified file. We will come to the result later. Let's focus on one more file. Here you can see we are using one more CSS, and the name is site.css. What is this file? So this file is coming from this folder. This file have all the CSS that we have written specific to this particular application. Since we have written very less code into this file as of now, that is why the size of this file may be less at this time, but whenever in future you will write loads of CSS code into your file, then at that time the size of this file will be huge. Now let's talk about the pain that these files can give to our application. So there are two situations. First one is either we can use the minified version, or second one is we can use the non-minified version. Let's see the advantage and disadvantage of both the files. Suppose I am using minified file into the application, then at that time we will not be able to debug our application, because the entire code will be minified, the name of your variables will be changed. So if in case you got some problem and you want to debug your application into the browser, then at that time you will not be able to debug your application. On the other hand, if we use the non-minified version, then because we have already seen the size of non-minified file is larger as compared to the minified file, so it means they can give the performance issue into the production environment. So both the file types, minified and the non-minified, have their own advantage and disadvantage. But we need to solve this problem into our ASP.NET Core MVC application. And how can we solve that? What could be the answer? The answer should be, we should render these files based on the environment. Suppose I am working onto the development environment, then at that time I should render all the non-minified file. In case I want to debug my application, then I can debug my application easily because I have rendered all the non-minified file. But in case my application is working in non-development environment, it means production, staging, or some other testing environment maybe, then at that time this application should render all the minified files. Then only we can resolve this problem. Now the final problem is, how can we identify the current environment? and this environment name is written into environment variable. For example, if we talk about this ASP.NET Core MEC application, then inside the properties folder you can see we have launch settings.json file, and inside this file we have one ASP.NET Core environment variable, and we are assigning some value to this ASP.NET Core environment, and this value belongs to the current environment of the application. Since we have written development over here, it means this application will run into development environment. If I update this ASP.NET Core environment variable to some other name, for example production or staging or something else, then this application will behave in that environment. Let's go to the startup file now. In one of the previous video of this tutorial, we have already learned about this environment variable inside startup class. If we need to identify the environment in CS file, or we can say C# file, then we can use this type. This iWebHost environment has several methods. By using these methods, we can identify the current environment into C# file. But the problem is, how can we identify this environment onto our Razor files, or we can say the CS.html file? Then to identify this environment on those files, we have a tag helper. The name is environment tag helper. Now let's focus on what attributes are available inside this environment tag helper. There are 3 attributes inside environment tag helper. We can use any one of them. First one is names, second one is include, and the third one is exclude. Let's see how it works. Let's start from the very basic example. Let's close all these files and let's open the index file of this application. Let's expand this views folder. Then we have home folder, and inside this home folder we have this index.cshtml. Suppose at this place you want to render some data based on the environment. If the application is working into development environment, then I want to display a message development. Suppose my application is working in production environment, then at that time I want to display a message production. Let's see how to do that. So we have to use environment tag helper, and this is how you can create an environment tag helper. Let's put this message inside this environment tag helper. Okay, and how this environment tag helper will identify the current environment. This environment tag helper identify the current environment based on the attribute value that we provide over here. So first let's start from names. So inside names we can set the current environment. Current environment is development. Here you can see the value is inside the properties, launch settings. Let's copy this one, paste it over here. Let's copy it again and paste it again, and let's set some message for production. Okay, since the application is working into the development environment right now, so let's press Ctrl F5. At this place you can see that we are getting this message development. Let's update this message. Suppose this time I want to run my application into production environment, and how to do that? Open this launch setting file, and here we have to update this name. Now you can ask a questions to yourself, why we are not updating this value over here inside this second profile, which is webgentle.bookstore. Why we are updating it over here? Because at this time to run this application we are using IS Express. Here you can see into the Visual Studio, by default the IS Express is selected. If you want to run your application by using this second profile, then you can choose it from here. So as you can see, this second profile is selected now. And now if you will run this application, then all the settings that you have defined into the second profile will come into the picture. But since we are running the application on IS Express, then for IS Express these are the settings which are required. Okay, so let's press Ctrl F5 now. This time you can see that we are getting the message production onto our index page, and this message is coming based on the environment of the application. Now let's understand the code. So here I have created 2 blocks with the help of environment tag. Whatever content I will write inside this block, it will be executed only for the development environment. Same, whatever content I will write inside this environment tag, this will be executed only for the production environment. So this is not only about displaying the message, you can perform your logic over here. Suppose you want to perform some logic specific to your production, then you can define it over here. In case you want to define your logic only for the development, then you can define it over here. Now suppose I want to display same message for multiple environments. Suppose I want to display this production for production environment and production for staging environment as well. So what is the solution? The first solution is I can copy this code again, paste it over here, and here inside the name I can write staging, and then I can write the message. But since the message is same, so in that scenario there is no need to repeat this entire code again. Let's delete this one. We can simply use comma over here inside the names, and we can give the name of the second environment, staging. So at this time this tag helper will work for production as well as for staging environment, and this one will work only for the development environment. This time I'll update this value to staging. Let's press Ctrl F5. This time you can see that we are running this application into staging environment. Still we are getting this message that we have written into the block. So this is how you can use this names attribute into your environment tag helper. Second attribute is include. So I can write include, and let's update this one as well. If the environment is development, then this will work. If the environment is either production or staging, then this one will work. Similar to the names attribute, we can also provide multiple values by comma separated into this include attribute as well. Let's save all the changes and focus onto the launch settings file that we are running this application into staging environment. Let's build the solution and press Ctrl F5. And this time you can see that still we are getting the same message. So either you can use names or you can use includes into your environment tag helper. If you will update this value to development, then you will get the message this development onto the screen. Now suppose I go to a situation where I want to display a message only for the development environment, and whatever other environment I have into this application, I want to display a common message to all of them. First solution is that we can specify this environment tag, and then inside this include attribute we can define the name of the environment just like we have done for the development. And second, since we have to display a message for all other environments that we have into this application, suppose I have 5 environment, so I have to define all the 5 names over here as a comma separated into this second environment tag. Second solution is that we can use the third attribute that we have for the environment tag, and that is exclude. So here we can use exclude tag as well. Now let's focus on what is the use of this exclude attribute. Let's copy this development and let's paste it over here. Now let's focus on the include attribute. Let's focus on this include attribute. If we are specifying this include attribute, it means we are going to focus only on this value that we have defined over here. If we have defined 2 values over here, comma separated, suppose development and production, then this code will work only for these 2 environment. But if we have defined only development, then this tag will work only for development environment. Exclude is completely opposite. Whatever all environments I have into this application, excluding development, this code will run for all rest environments. Suppose I have 5 environments into the application: development, staging, production, and 2 more environments. So if I am using exclude and I am excluding development, it means this code block will run for all 4 environments that we have into this application. So rather defining all the names one by one into this include attribute, you can simply use the exclude attribute, and you can exclude the only environment in which you do not want to execute this code block. I hope this concept will be clear to you now. Let's see what is the current environment now. It is staging. So we should get this message now. Let's press Ctrl F5. So we are getting production message over here. Let's update the name to development. Again press Ctrl F5. And this time you can see that we are getting this development message onto the browser. You can use this environment tag helper on any of the CSHTML file. Okay, so let's remove it from here, and now let's focus on a real-time example. Let's focus on to the layout file now. So inside this layout file, let's work on the bootstrap file. Suppose for the development environment, I want to render the non-minified file, and for all other environment, I want to render the minified file. Then how to do that? First, we have to create new environment tag. Here we have to write a new attribute, which is include. Let's give it a name, development. Let's create one more environment tag. And here let's use exclude. Okay, so suppose for the development environment, I want to use non-minified file. So I can cut this file and paste it over here. And for all other non-development environment, I want to use the minified file. This minified file is available over here, bootstrap.css.min.css, like this. In this video, for the learning purpose, I am using only one file inside this environment tag. For example, if you want to use one more file, then you can press enter over here and you can add one more file. You can add n number of lines over here. So it is not only specific to one line, you can specify n number of lines over here. Suppose you want to add 5 files for this development environment, then you can specify all of them over here. Suppose this is the site.css file that I want to use for the development only, then I can define it over here. And in case I have a minified file for this site.css as well, which we do not have as of now, but in future definitely we will have. So at that time, I will use this non-minified file into the development and that minified file into this non-development environment. But for the demo purpose, I am using only one file. Okay, so let's build the solution. Everything is working perfect, and let's run this application by pressing Ctrl F5. Now let's see the page source. Right click on this page and choose view page source. Here you can see that we are using this bootstrap non-minified file. If I click on this one, then you can see we are getting this non-minified file. Why we are getting this non-minified file? Because into the launch setting we are using this development environment. If I update this development to some other environment like production, and this time if I run this application by pressing Ctrl F5, let's open the view page source again. This time you can see that we are getting this minified file. So here you can see that this is the minified file of the bootstrap, and if I open the previous window, then here you can see that we are getting the non-minified file. So this is how you can identify your file based on the current environment into CS/HTML file. You can also perform same thing with your JS file as well. Let's use exclude attribute this time. Okay, so suppose for the development I want to use this non-minified file. So let's cut it over here and let's paste it. And for the non-development environment, I want to use the minified file. And this file is available inside this jQuery, jQuery.min.js. So this is how you can set up your jQuery file as well. You can also assign these CDN files as well into this environment tag. Suppose this is a minified file and I want to use this minified only for the non-development. Then I can paste both these two lines over here. And for the development, I can use the non-minified file. That is all in this video. I hope after watching this video, you will be able to identify your files based on the environment. That is all in this video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.